on us. The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. Just about 7 o'clock. It's Monday, January 15th. Welcome to it. If you're watching on our live stream, you can see that Ken and I both got the memo. It is brownish sweater day.
Brown, thick sweater day.
Yep. That is the theme for Monday. So if you have not been picked out your wardrobe for today, pick out a brown sweater.
This is it. Brown sweater Monday.
Today we do have some cold temperatures. That's why we got the thick sweaters on. Wind chill warning for all the area in effect until noon. And then later today we've got some lake effect snow. We will actually get into the other side of the. We're not on the negative anymore after some time today. We will get to 5. They say.
Oh, really?
Wind chill -25. What is it right now? Like -4 or something like that outside? It's something super cold.
Well, let's see. In St. Joseph.
I'm getting around 3, 4 right now.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Down in Buchanan right now, I'm seeing -8.
Dang.
South Bend -9. South Haven is -9. Yeah, I think we're at -4, -6.
Woof.
Depending on if you look at here or the Benton Harbor Airport.
Later tonight, it is going to get cold again and continue to be that way. 30% chance for some light snow. Low -4 with the wind chill -20. And it's going to be windy too. Wind gusts throughout the day, 10 to 20 miles per hour. So we got that going for us. We do have some closings, cancellations, and delays to add to your list. I heard that Bangor Public Schools closed for today. We're going to get that on our list at WSJM.com, along with Fenville Public Schools. They're on a 2-hour delay for staff. No students have to report today. Hartford Public Schools closed today, along with Waterville Public Schools. And then a lot of the other schools closed for MLK Day. So that's why the list is kind of short right now, but it's brought to you by our friends at Kepner's Precision Auto Crafters. You can find it 24/7 at WSJM.com and the WSJM app. Let's find out what our friends at Cornerstone Alliance. See GoMichigan.com, Cornerstone Alliance.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Good morning. It's Martin Luther King Day. It's a federal holiday. Post offices, banks, government agencies are all or mostly closed. Most stores are open. Trash collection depends on your municipality. I was checking around to see what was happening, and some of them are running on normal schedules.
Okay.
So just check to make sure that you don't miss one of those runs. Let's see, what else do we have going on? It's cold outside. It's expected to be cold for a good portion of this week. Very cold. National Weather Service meteorologist Nathan Marsili tells us that Arctic air is coming into the region, and it's keeping temperatures in the teens, single digits. As we mentioned just a moment ago, the Benton Harbor Airport is registering -5.
Oh,
that's cold.
Oh,
I think it's colder than here, but wind chills are expected to be in the 15 to 25 degree below zero range, and that's dangerous.
Pretty much be with us through a lot of the week here. Yeah, pretty much looking well below normal through at least even into the first part of the weekend. So the coldest periods look like it'll be through Thursday, and then maybe just some very minor moderation, but still below normal for the end of the work week.
Marsili reminds everyone to take extra precautions in the cold, and also you can prepare your home by making sure that your pipes don't freeze. If you're worried about that, you can let your faucet drip a little bit slowly to avoid freezing pipes, keep the water moving. Also, closing the fireplace flue damper when not using it. A lot of hot air rushes out the flue. Even when you have the fireplace on. It's not really an efficient way of doing it unless it's a wood stove. Wood stoves are fantastic. And remember to bundle up outside. In temperatures this low, frostbite can set in within a matter of minutes, especially on bare skin. Southwest Michigan's Manufacturing Growth Alliance is asking area manufacturers to take a closer look at a non-traditional talent pipeline, which is the correctional system. In mid-February, the MGA is guiding a tour of the Richard A. Hanlon Correctional Facility's vocational village to see what they call a first-of-its-kind skilled trades training program. Elizabeth Bernard is the executive director of the MGA and said this event is the first of many to engage with the potential labor pipeline.
And they have amazing labs where they train their participants in CNC, robotics, and welding. And so we'll be taking a tour of their lab so that our employers in the area can consider this talent pipeline.
Bernard says incarcerated individuals receive full days of training and classroom instruction intended to mimic a typical workday, and on completion, they receive state and nationally recognized certificates in their chosen trade. From there, the focus is on helping released individuals regain their footing in a stable workplace.
When an individual leaves prison as a parolee, they get enrolled to work with our offender success program. And so what that means is they're there to help with barrier remediation, to help with getting into employment, but also more importantly, staying in employment with that barrier remediation piece.
The tour and information session is set for Tuesday, February 13. The MGA is inviting local manufacturers to sign up now and see firsthand the labs and training programs where this highly skilled talent pipeline can help close labor gaps in the local economy. Again, we have a link to where local manufacturers can register at our website. It's at WSJM.com for more information. And Michigan's annual January Consensus Revenue Estimating Conference was held on Friday. Can you imagine?
That is the longest name.
What do you think the
seen.
swag is at the annual January Consensus Revenue Estimating Conference?
I sure hope it's an acronym.
It's probably a fanny
Shorten
pack.
up the name a little bit. Yeah.
It was held on Friday. They're showing the state revenues are expected to remain stable heading into 2024. That's prompted State Senator Eric Nesbitt to once again call for a reduction in the state income tax. With the state expected to have a $1.3 billion surplus, Nesbitt says it's now confirmed the state has the money to give taxpayers a break. He says Michiganders cannot afford to continue shoveling millions into pet projects, unsustainable government bureaucracy, and global corporate welfare like the Democrats did in 2023. That was what Nesbitt said.
Okay.
He also accuses majority Democrats of squandering a $9 billion surplus last year. State Treasurer Rachel Eubanks said on Friday, the confidence in the economy is expected to increase with lower inflation, lower interest rates, lower gas prices, and low unemployment. Eubanks said people are willing to go out and spend a little bit more. They're going to feel better about the economy as we move into 2024. Nesbitt says that's just more reason to give people a tax break. So that's going to be something that's on the agenda to talk about in Lansing. We'll see if any action happens on that. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
We'll catch up with sports in just a little bit with Dave Wolf. I'm sure he's very excited because he is a Lions fan. They had a good game last night.
Oh, yeah.
We'll catch you up on some of the other scores over the weekend as well and find out what's happening around the nation and the world with ABC News.
ABC News, I'm
Good morning on our live stream. Good morning to Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
She says, good morning, Johnny and Ken. Brr.
Brr.
And then I believe there's cold people, cold smiley faces. Icy smiley faces. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Teresa says, Bill, are you staying warm? Bill says, it is cold. I love snow, but would like it to be a bit warmer. Yeah.
Just
Same.
a bit warmer.
Yeah. I don't mind the snow. It's the frigid temperatures that really, really suck.
Yeah. It's like, here's the snow, but you can't go out and enjoy it.
Right. Yeah.
Because, I mean, anything you do out there, you risk your life.
Yeah, it's like, I want to go, like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be nice to get the little bit of snowpack so that we could do cross-country skiing or check out the trails. You can't go outside for more than 10 minutes.
No, you can't.
So that's not good.
No.
Not going to get much hiking done with that, and not much. You get the cross country skis on by the time you got to get back inside.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, because especially, that's the fun thing about skiing is you typically, I guess alpine skiing, downhill skiing is a little different because you just snap into the bindings.
Sure.
But cross country skiing, unless you've got the fancy bindings that you can snap into, you got to do some stuff with your fingers down there.
Yep.
And you're all of a sudden your fingers are frozen.
Yep.
Oh, this is fun.
You get the foot clip in there, and then you got to clamp the clip down, and it's just a mess. So
snowshoeing, that's fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I have not done that. I want to do like the big ones, the big old school tennis racket size ones.
You can do the tennis racket size ones. The reason they have those is because, again, it's weight distribution.
Yeah.
Weight distribution. And in recent years, they've come out with the shorter ones
Mhm.
so you can run and hike
Sure.
and do all that. But they're made out of that plastic stuff,
Right.
and they're really, really loud.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're really loud, so they scare all nature away. So if you don't want to meet the bears, that's what you wear.
All right.
If you want to sneak up on them, you can wear the other ones.
I feel like that
The
should be
long
on
ones.
that should be on a t-shirt.
Meet
If you
the
don't want to
bears.
meet the bears, that's what you wears.
I like it.
All right. Brown sweater day today. So everybody knows. That's the theme for
What's yours made out of?
I don't know. It's knit with
Is it knit?
something. Yeah.
I've got recycled pop bottles here, I'm sure.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's fleece.
There you go.
Probably something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I know every once in a while I have to trim off a piece, or I have to fix a piece that's on there. But anyways, how's everybody else doing? Nobody lose power over the weekend. I know I had a couple friends that had lost power, and cannot imagine losing power in these temperatures.
No, that's very concerning.
Yeah.
Very concerning. We were tracking power outages, just a fraction in Berrien County, a little bit more up in Van Buren County. Saw that they were up over 1,000 at one point for their entire county. And then, other than that, I think it was okay. Cass County didn't have too much.
Yeah. I was worried with the cold temperatures, especially when the snow was switching to that lake effect, and then the wet, rainy, snow, and then it got cold real quick.
Yeah.
So that was what I was worried about.
My son's car needs to get fixed.
What's wrong with it?
We tried to get it out of the snow, and I think it broke an axle shaft.
Ouch.
So he's learning how that happens and works.
Yeah, I was getting the car ready because Jocelyn had to work yesterday.
Oh no.
So she's like, well, we got to dig the car out.
Yeah.
Make sure that's good to go. And we didn't go anywhere on Saturday. And so I'm brushing off the car, getting that going. And sure enough, it started right up. But even this morning, I went to go to my car, and it's like, okay, now we're ready. It was just so cold.
Yeah.
-8, I think it said when I started the car up.
Oof.
So yeah, not good.
No.
So keep your cars warm. Hopefully everybody else stays warm. But let's get back to the show here.
Okay.
We got lots of stuff to talk about.
A wind chill warning is in effect until around noon today. Otherwise, lake effect snow possible along the Lake Michigan shoreline. Highs near 5 with wind chill values dangerously cold near 30 below. We're mostly cloudy tonight with a 30% chance of light snow. Actual low temperatures around 4 below. Wind chill values as low as 20 below. I'm WSBT 22 meteorologist Abby Wepler.
Hi, this is John Prose. You're listening to The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. And good morning to those watching on our live stream. If you're not doing that, you're missing out on a lot of exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else. So when you get a chance, be sure to go and check out our Facebook page. If you like our Facebook page, WSJM, just search for that. You'll get notified when we go live. And then like and what do the kids say? Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Smash that like button.
Yeah. All that fun stuff.
On our YouTube, and we're also on X if you want to go check that out. We'd love for you to do that. But yeah, lots of things to talk about. A lot of people were probably really liking what was going on this whole week. Miss America contest. A lot of people were watching that and keeping their eyes on it. And the finale, or the final part of the competition,
that was
happened last night on. Did we figure out what channel that was on? Or
it was on Miss America something or other.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with all the football schedules, they probably got bumped everywhere.
Right.
But anyway, it happened, and we were all pulling for Buchanan's own Maya Shuknek, and she did win the preliminary talent,
right,
along with 2 of her colleagues there, but she did not win or place in the final.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Madison Marsh, a 22-year-old second lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force and master's student at the Harvard Kennedy School Public Policy Program, was victorious. She emerged as the 2024 Miss America. She represents the state of Colorado. She's the first active duty Air Force officer ever to receive the national title.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was nice. So at least if our own Miss Michigan didn't win,
yeah.
an Air Force person won.
And if you're going to get beat by somebody, what a person to get beat by. I mean, that's an amazing resume for somebody.
Right?
So
it is. It wasn't all lost. Maya won the preliminary talent award along with Miss Maine and Miss North Carolina. And so there's that.
There you go.
Yeah, the let's see where are the actual results. Colorado was number 1. Texas, Ellie Bro was the first runner-up. Indiana was the second runner-up.
Oh wow!
Sydney Bridges, yeah, she took the second runner-up place, which I guess in technical terms is third place. And Miss Kentucky was the third runner-up. Fourth runner-up was Miss Rhode Island. And then rounding out the top 11, Arkansas, Florida, Kansas, Maryland, New York, and North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Maya's going to come back victorious, though, because she did amazing in her speed painting, and everything else she does is great. So it must be incredibly difficult to judge those competitions and to pick a winner. But sounds like they picked a good one, Miss Colorado.
It was a marathon of competition and interviews and preliminary this and doing that. I mean, that had to have been a long, arduous process to be a part of. But I'm sure she had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear her feedback on how it all went.
Yeah, following the Instagram and the social medias on what they were doing, it was fun to see all the different little activities they were promoting.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was neat.
Speaking of America. There's some things going on down in Iowa.
Oh yeah,
as they prepare for the Iowa caucuses.
Another competition, you say?
Yeah, another competition.
Beauty contest of some sort.
But as we are dealing with the cold temperatures and bad weather, they were kind of dealing with that as well down there, and that was causing some things to probably not get scheduled because of the bad weather.
That's right, because the Iowa caucuses are tonight.
Okay.
And I mean, you're talking about right in the middle of a cold wave, smack dab in the middle of Iowa. But a lot of the campaigning that went on as normal, the Iowans were showing up going, "We're tough. This is nothing.
Sure.
We know it's winter." Yeah, we'll be
keeps the butter cold.
It keeps the butter cold and milk chilled. But the caucuses happen tonight. It's the first chance for Republican voters to weigh in on who they want to be their presidential nominee. It's the first test of Donald Trump. A lot of headlines over the weekend saying, "Is it going to be a blowout?" He's got high expectations. What's Nikki Haley going to do? He still leads overwhelmingly in the polls for Iowa and nationally. And probably in the category of criminal and civil felony charges. He faces 91 criminal and civil felony charges.
Wow.
That's got to be some kind of new record or something like that for a presidential candidate. So anyway, the stakes are high. It's going to start tonight at 8 o'clock our time this evening. The caucus goers write down their candidate of choice. They submit it, and the votes are tallied in front of the caucus attendees, and then campaign representatives submit it to the state party, and we should probably hear sometime tonight, I don't know, maybe around 10 o'clock, I hope, maybe later. Depends on how fast they can report, especially given the cold. This is only Republicans voting for Republicans. The Democrats are doing the same thing, but it's by mail, and it's probably less of a contest because just Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's the one thing that people are keeping eyes on is the obviously the one that's going for it, not the incumbent. Are you expecting any surprises, or are you expecting to kind of just go along with what a lot of the polls and everything are saying? Because I mean, all the different polls. I mean, those polls are other people and surveys and all that stuff. This is the real deal. So what are you expecting it to kind of go in line with that?
If there are any surprises, it will be based on those polls. Are the polls accurate? In recent years, you've seen the polls lose some confidence. People have lost confidence in the polling because, frankly, it's harder to poll people to understand where they are and how to reach them. But in Iowa right now, Trump is at 52.5% over Nikki Haley, who's the second place so far, at 18.7%, and the poll has Ron DeSantis at 15.5%. So if that's how they stack up, given the caucus results tonight, then okay, that's fine. We'll know that some of the polling is sound.
Sure.
But if there's any surprises whatsoever, it's just going to be that margin of victory for Trump. Now, if something happens and Trump is not victorious, that would be a heck of a surprise.
Right. Or
So-
even just, I think even it being a closer call
Right.
than what it
Is
has
he
been.
vulnerable kind of
Yeah.
thing?
It being, he's 30, 40 points above these other people.
Yeah.
To see it be even closer might be the big surprise.
Yeah. So depending on weather conditions, how people turn out, but I
Mhm.
think you're going to get the faithful out there, and you're going to see the result, the numbers that you expect to see.
Sure.
Whether the results turn out to be what the polling is currently indicating, we'll see.
Now, on the other side of that, what if numbers for Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis are way lower even than expected? If it's like a complete blowout, do you think one of them drops off, or do you think those two will probably stay in it until like New Hampshire and some of these other primaries and caucuses happen?
I would suggest that you're probably going to see them all stick through New Hampshire, but then quickly after that they'll start going away. But you already saw Chris Christie drop out,
right?
In front of Iowa, in front of New Hampshire. He knew he wasn't going to get much in Iowa. He was banking everything on New Hampshire. His numbers just weren't appearing there, materializing there, and so he dropped out last week. Whether you see Ramaswamy drop out, I don't know. He seems like the kind of person who would stay in there, but we'll see.
He seems like a movie character. Like he looks like he could be in the cast of the Hunger Games with that hair and just his
the quick wit.
Yeah, very cartoonish way about him. Yeah, I feel like you won't see it. And that's the thing is you see some of these candidates like him that are so all out there and you always wonder like how the heck did they even get there? Well, probably because they have a lot of money.
Right.
But then what's he gonna do after this? Like once he's done, where's he gonna go? Is he just gonna go and sit on his piles of money, or will you think that a guy like him will stick around in the political world?
Yeah, I mean, he might stick around in the political world. He seems very business driven.
Yeah,
and so maybe he'll just return to that and throw his full energy into that, and from time to time play a role, whether that's money or advisor or something along those lines. But I think Ron DeSantis really have to watch his numbers to see what happens with Iowa.
Right.
Like you say, New Hampshire's the next test, and does he drop out before that? I don't know, but he's got to be feeling the money pinch at this point.
Now he can't go back to being the governor, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
his term's not done there.
I'll have to find out when his term is done. But he doesn't have to resign any
Okay.
governorship. That's always been the thing with people who run for office is you don't have to resign your current office. You don't have to say. But for those who do, they get a bump in the polls or maybe bump in sentiment for a day or two.
Right.
But then it's like
I just didn't know if his term was up this year and then say he had to register for put his name on the ticket basically by a certain time. So I didn't know. When in the New Hampshire,
his current term ends in January 27.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's got some time.
He can just go back to being the governor if he loses.
Yeah.
All right. New Hampshire primaries are when?
Take a look here.
Coming up here soon.
Yeah.
And then Michigan's just around the corner as well.
Michigan's February 27, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, so we're at the end. New Hampshire primary is January 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, looking forward to seeing how all that goes, and then we'll probably talk more about it tomorrow when we get those results. Hopefully,
yeah. Hopefully tonight. Hopefully quick. Early night.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Talk about them tomorrow morning. A lot of other stuff to talk about this morning. We'll catch you up with sports, news, and your Bloomberg Market Minute. That's next.
At Sturgis Bank, it's our people that make the difference.
Putting you on the spot with a date check. Calendar check.
I've got a whole
I thought you had it all starred on your calendar with the big circle.
But it takes time to get to the calendar.
Got to get the different markers with the glitter on it to mark the stars on there.
And there was a lot of debate and consternation over whether or not Michigan would go as early as February 27, and the legislature was able to get out early enough so that automatically went into effect. So February 27 is Michigan.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, January 23rd is the New Hampshire primary.
Weren't they trying February 27th, by the way, Jocelyn's birthday? So
there you go.
Means she has to go out and vote.
Boy, she just missed the leap year because we have a leap year coming up this year.
Yeah.
That's good because that probably causes all kinds of havoc.
Yeah. I don't know many people that are born on the leap year.
Yeah. Me either.
But I know somebody who knows somebody that
Kevin
was,
Bacon.
Yeah, basically, yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon that said having a birthday on a leap year is just a little odd. Like it's a lot of technical stuff to deal with government wise, but they're like, it's not too bad. It's cool when you're like 5 years old, and when you are 5 years old on paper, but you're really in your 20s.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, it would be weird.
That'd be weird.
I mean, and with you have a leap year birthday, do you just celebrate your birthday on either March 1st or February 28th?
Happy birthday. Well, it's not really my birthday.
Is it like right at midnight or what?
Wouldn't it always be March 1st? Because it can't be on the 28th.
No.
It can't be before the 28th. It's got to be after the 28th. So it's got to be March 1st.
Yeah, I feel like you just got to do midnight on March 1st. Just like or 12.
Just that moment in between 11:59 and 12.
Yep.
That's your day.
Yep.
Gone.
You get the 1 minute. Just make that happen. But how's everybody doing this morning? You having a great time brushing off the car, keeping it warm, getting it started up?
We bought ice scrapers and brushes this weekend.
Nice.
That's one thing we did.
Nice.
Because the last one that Stephanie had, it got lost. I don't know where it is. She thinks I took it out of the car. I didn't. I don't know what happened to it.
I think last year I bought like a really nice retractable extended one, and it got so cold one of the times that I think I tried I was scraping and it broke the scraper part. The brush and everything still works just fine, so I keep that, but then like because this is for Jocelyn's car, and then we have another what was our backup scraper in the car as well. So yeah, man, it's
I wondered
rough.
about that because we went to the auto supply store. Samuel and I. Is it Samuel and I? I think so. And we walk in to and the guy's like, "Where are you on?" We're looking for ice scrapers.
Sure.
And so he shows us the selection, and there were a bunch of retractable ones. And I thought about it for a moment, and then I thought, it's going to be cold, and I'm going to have to like extend.
It's
the
not
thing
fun.
And do that.
Yeah, because I mean, I've got a taller car, so I've got a crossover.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So getting to the top of the roof is a little
makes
harder.
Sense. Yeah.
That way, because I don't want to have the car mohawk.
No, that's dangerous.
That's
you get
not good.
ticketed for that.
Yeah. So I didn't want the car mohawk, so I have the extended to help alleviate that. But
that makes sense.
Yeah. What do we got here? Teresa says we did not lose power.
Yay.
But Bill did say he lost motivation over the weekend.
Come on, Bill, you can do it.
Yeah, and Teresa did say that as far as the Miss Michigan competition, she said she's a little bummed out that it wasn't on regular TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we searched high and low, and even this morning, I wanted to see if there was any additional statement that Miss America organization put out. Nothing on their website. Nothing on the webs as far as a prepared statement saying, "Here's all this stuff. Here's the official." We had to go scour around for it.
And because when you Google it, I mean, usually if you Google some sort of a show or whatever, you usually can find a how to watch.
Yeah,
and there probably wasn't even that.
No, no. It was. I saw that sports ball. We've been talking about Jim Harbaugh, whether or not he'd be leaving the team.
Yep.
But I saw that J.J. McCarthy has declared.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's going, man.
So no
longer. He was a senior, though.
He was a junior.
Oh, was he?
He was a junior, and so he declared. So he's heading out.
All right. Well, we might have to talk about that in a little bit later. Let's get back to the show here.
Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. Just about 7:30. It's Monday, and we've got some cold temperatures today.
But we're warm inside.
We are warm. Nice. And what is it? What is the current temperature on that thermostat? Is it 70?
69.
69.
Yeah, because the air conditioning's probably still on to keep the transmitter stuff cool.
Probably. That's pretty nice, though. That's a good setting. Some parents probably want to have what we have, and that is a locked box around our thermostat.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of dads would love to have what we have.
Well, and the funny thing is, too, and we've talked about this
Mhm.
before. I have the Nest, so I can control the thermostat from anywhere in the world
Sure.
with my app.
Uh-huh.
That totally defeats the plexiglass locked box.
Right.
Although you can put a security code on it too, which is kind of what this is.
Maybe we'll upgrade to that at some way.
We should.
someday. We do have wind chill for all of the area. Wind chill warning through noon today, and then later today we've got lake effect snow that should be making its way here. Kind of been blown around, and it was snowing a little bit this morning when I got in.
Do you have good visibility on the way in?
It was okay. It
Okay.
got a little worse as I got closer to St. Joe.
Yeah.
Blowing around mainly.
Okay.
But 30% chance we'll have some lake effect snow. Wind chill's the really big one. -25 it could be. And then also later tonight, -20. But
Jeez.
the temperature will be -4 tonight. The real temperature, -4. So woof.
Yikes.
Keep that stuff warm as much as you can.
Yeah. And speaking of woof, be careful with your pets.
Yep.
Don't let them go outside for any duration of time. Let them do their business and get back in.
I let the dog do the business inside.
Yeah.
I just said, just go right here, man.
Okay.
He's tiny, so it was pretty much just like a little bit of
Not like a Great Dane
no.
on your couch.
It's pretty much just I could throw a paper towel right underneath while it's happening catch it all.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you're doing an oil change in your car. But we do have some closings, cancellations, and delays. Yeah. That is not what that's for. Anyways, we do have some closings, cancellations, and delays brought to you by our friends at Kepner's Precision Auto Crafters. A few of them that we added to the list recently. We got Bangor Public Schools closed today, along with Decatur Public Schools, Fenville Public Schools. Staff, you're on a 2-hour delay. Students don't have to go to school today. Gobles Public Schools Gobles Public Schools closed today, along with Hartford, Lawrence, Lawton, Marcellus, Matawan, as well as Otsego, Pawpaw. St. Basil Catholic Church in South Haven closed for today, along with Trinity Lutheran School in Pawpaw and Waterville Public Schools. Find those closings, cancellations, and delays brought to you by our friends at Kepner's Precision Auto Crafters at WSJM.com and the WSJM app. Let's find out what's happening in the news this morning.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Good morning. Here are some of the local stories we're following for you. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's a federal holiday. Post offices, banks, government agencies are all or mostly all closed. Most stores are open. Trash collection depends on your municipality. St. Joe, for instance, they are running their regular rubbish schedule.
All right.
So do pay attention to that. In celebration, however, of the civil rights leader, Lake Michigan College launches its annual Martin Luther King Week today. The week-long schedule of events runs through Saturday. LMC Dean of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Cam Hirth, tells us it begins with the Martin Luther King Jr. celebration and community breakfast this morning. That's where they'll give out the annual Spirit of MLK Awards. Other events throughout the week include crafts at locations throughout the community, a panel discussion on civil rights, and an address by Layla Ali, the daughter of Muhammad Ali. You can find the full schedule on our website, WSJM.com. Most of the events are open to the public, except where noted. Still bitterly cold out there. Weather advisories remain in effect until midday, including the wind chill advisory we talked about a moment ago. Michigan Department of Transportation was busy throughout this past weekend's winter storm. Kurt Fritz coordinates the maintenance in several West Michigan counties. He says the plow crews work 24/7 shifts when there's a lot of snow to clear. And just a reminder, if you're driving around out there, if you have to drive, I mean, don't if you don't have to, but if you have to drive, give the plows some room. The accidents between plows and regular drivers have ticked up since the pandemic for some reason. I don't know why they don't give them social distance.
Yeah, got to keep the distance, man.
Got to do that. And also, 2024 Southwest Michigan Horticultural Days will be February 7 and 8 at Lake Michigan College's Mendel Center. The event is hosted by the Michigan Grape Society and Michigan State University Extension. It's intended to inform farmers about the latest innovations in the ag industry.
All right.
So we'll talk about that. We have more information on our website about tickets, etc. at WSJM.com. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
All right. And coming up here in just a little bit, Dave Wolf has sports. So we'll check in with ABC News. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the state.
The Michigan News Network.
Hello.
Feel the air conditioning kicked on.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's on right now. It's blowing.
The air conditioning?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Somewhere around here.
Yeah,
Maybe
when
it's
you
up there.
got a bunch of machines that you got to keep cool, you can't really crank the heat all that much. So it does get a little chilly here year round, actually. I've always, for the longest time, had an emergency sweater available.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Even in the summertime, got to have an emergency sweater because it does get cold inside the building, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with.
Yep.
Has everybody stayed going this morning? I feel like I need to get warmer gloves just for this type of temperature. Like I've got the gloves and they're fine with getting a little bit of snow, but I was shoveling the snow over the weekend
Mm-hmm.
and had the gloves on, but it was so darn cold that I could not feel my hands.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was bad.
Do you know how to quickly warm them up safely after you come in from the outside like that?
I know what I do.
What do you do?
Just sit on my hands.
Well, that's one way.
'Cause I got a hot butt. It keeps them warm. I got hot butt, hot thighs, so keeps them warm. What else am I supposed to do?
Well, you can run them if they're, as long as they're not sitting under your butt, you can run your hands under cool water.
Okay.
And that helps bring them safely back.
You don't want to do hot.
You don't want to do hot because you can't feel the temperature.
Yeah.
And so you might burn yourself, but you can do cool water and that brings them up and it makes it feel oddly warm.
Okay.
Yeah. Taught that to one of my boys this weekend and he's like, oh, wow, it works.
It does.
Yeah. Another thing, Friday, I told you I was going to go meet somebody for a newsmaker meeting and I did it over at the local Big Coffee in Benton Harbor, the drive-through that they have there. We're sitting there having coffee and all of a sudden we hear this ungodly noise. Whoa. And it sounds like, you know how when you drag a table across like a cafeteria floor, it sounds like, and someone's just dragging it across. Multiply that by about 10 or 20 times loudness.
What the heck was going on?
Somebody brought a U-Haul through the drive-through.
Oh, no.
And they couldn't clear the awning.
Oh, no.
They took the whole awning off. And I mean, so there was this ungodly noise.
Yeah.
And then a moment of silence, like, what the heck was that?
Sure.
And then the whole crew behind the coffee counter, like, started shrieking, like, oh my God, he hit the thing. Yeah. And so, long story short, nobody hurt, no damage to the building, except for the whole awning was torn off.
Oh, no.
And the U-Haul driver came in and all sheepish.
I, one time took one of our station vehicles.
Oh, no.
And the station vehicles, like, they have the big Mondo antenna thing that extends.
Yeah.
They have those on some of the vehicles. But then there was one that had just a couple like small little antennas, similar to like what you have on your car, but small little antennas on top.
Yeah.
And the awning I went under was like right at the edge.
Oh,
so like
no.
all I didn't break anything or do anything. So engineer Terry, if you're watching this, I did not damage anything, but I just heard this like little scratch, like a little scratch. And I was like, oh, those are touching the awning. Okay. But that's why most of our vehicles, if you look in there, it'll say like on the dash somewhere what your clearance is.
Smart.
So if you've got a tower, or even if you've got those little antennas, those are some of those little antennas, they can move a little bit, but they don't want to move too much.
Well, nowadays you've got the cellular antennas, which are like under that little, or the satellite antennas, which are under the shark fin.
Yep.
Those things don't look flexible. Just take it right off.
Right.
So be careful.
So those little clearances. There's a YouTube video dedicated to, I can't remember where this bridge is.
I love that one.
Where it's some random town somewhere.
Yeah.
And more than probably once a day, somebody in a big truck, like a box truck or a big semi, will drive through there, and it just peels that thing, the top of that thing, like a sardine can.
Yeah.
And the people had it wasn't even like the Department of Transportation. I think it was just a nearby security camera from a building.
Man, I just pulled it up. It's called the Can Opener Bridge.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Check
No.
your clearance. I know when I've worked in different, like when I worked at the porta potty company, there would be random bridges that I would go through. And even my truck, it wasn't even that big of a truck, and it had, stuff on top. It wasn't even that tall, but some of these country roads and different places you go to, sometimes your clearance is very low. And I was like, I'm not going to clear that.
I wonder, the clearance is marked on the bridge.
Yeah.
Has to be. But like, let's say it's 11 foot, 8 inches.
Right.
Is that the most you can get under there? Like if you go through the center, or is that the least clearance throughout?
I think that's the least. Well,
I mean, if you're the least clearance on the edges.
I think the edges, it doesn't matter. I think that clearance is what it is, the lowest point of the driving area.
Okay.
So like, yeah, you're right. If the bridge or overpass or whatever you're going through kind of has a curve to it, I think that's at the lowest point of where you would typically travel through.
I wish it were the other way, because that'd be kind of a fun gambling game.
Yeah. Yeah, those people
if I get it just right.
Well, and that's the thing is, especially like that Can Opener Bridge, there's so many trucks that they know, semi-truck drivers, they know exactly what their clearance is.
Yeah.
They just are probably not paying attention, and they just say, I can risk it. I can come close enough, but I'm going to be fine. And that's when it shreds the thing.
It's incredible that and a lot of those vehicles that get their top shredded, they are rental vehicles. So like the U-Hauls or the Riders and stuff like Penske. But you can also deflate your tires a little bit and get some clearance. Do you know that?
Yeah, but are people gonna? I mean, by the time you deflate your tires,
another way to go around
another route.
What if that's the only route for miles and miles?
Yeah, I guess you could do that
anyway. But yeah, those are cringe videos.
Fun to watch though, and like the what is it, Fail Army? Whatever.
Yeah.
If you have a chance to watch that stuff, that's good.
Those are great.
I do enjoy that. All right, we'll get back to the show here in just a moment. These cold temperatures, are they going to stick around for? I thought I saw later this week. Even let's see, later this week we should warm up. Yeah, like Wednesday, Thursday, it's going to feel like a heat wave.
Yeah, Wednesday we're going to get a high of 23.
Yeah,
Thursday a high of 24. So that is a heat wave.
Yeah, I'm going to want to wear shorts that day.
Anything over 18 degrees Fahrenheit, I feel good about.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's when the road stuff really starts working. You throw the stuff down and it melts the ice.
Yeah, because I think when we've talked to some of the people from like road crews and things, they're not tossing a lot of salt and stuff.
No, because it doesn't do anything.
So do they throw sand?
Yeah, I see in some cases that are throwing sand. I don't know. And there was nothing on my drive-in today. Except for snow.
Yeah, there's a lot of snowpack, and I think by that, and since we're going to be driving slow, it's not really going to be a big deal because, the salt, all that salt that they have, it's not going to do anything if the temperatures are as cold as they are.
Right.
Just looking at some other things to talk about. Hugh Hefner's smoking jacket's up for auction. If anybody's interested,
what size?
Does it say the size? I don't know. He's probably around your size. He's an average size dude.
Let's see. Because that would be fun.
Monogrammed with his initials.
Is it cleaned? Is it going to be cleaned?
I'm sure it would.
Okay. I wonder how many smoking jackets he has.
I feel like there's a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like because I mean that was his iconic look for years.
Yeah.
So you got to imagine that he has quite a few of them.
Ooh. Looks like at that same auction, they're also auctioning off a gown that was worn by Marilyn Monroe.
Oh.
Yeah. It was worn by her in the 7-year itch, and it's expected to get up to $200,000.
Dang.
There's another one that she used in the Life magazine photo shoot, which would go for up to $40,000, they think.
All right.
But yeah, Hugh Hefner's jacket, that'd be fun.
That would be cool. I feel like smoking jackets should come back.
They really should.
I think they're cool.
Why did they go away?
I don't know. Because I would wear that for like loungewear. You know, like I get home. Usually when I get home, I usually put sweatpants on or shorts.
You're kind of like Mr. Rogers in reverse. He would always get home and put on the cardigan, change his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You put on shorts.
It's just like because I pretty much I finish the other part of my day at home.
Yeah.
And I usually come home and if Jocelyn's home or if the dog's home, I just said, "Hey neighbor," and then I change out my shoes, I change my jacket, change out my shorts.
Hey neighbor,
take the pants off, put the shorts on.
Oh boy!
So all right, well let's get back to the show here.
Largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
A wind chill warning is in effect until around noon today. Otherwise, lake effect snow possible along the Lake Michigan shoreline. Highs near 5 with wind chill values dangerously cold near 30 below. We're mostly cloudy tonight with a 30% chance of light snow. Actual low temperatures around 4 below. Wind chill values as low as 20 below. I'm WSBT 22 meteorologist Abby Wepler.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Gotta tell you, anytime I hear below 0, I am not a fan of hearing that. I can't imagine people in like Minnesota and places like that. And even speaking of football, we were talking about this earlier, the Buffalo Bills, their game that's going to happen later today.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the current temperature is over in Buffalo, but I imagine it's going to be pretty cold. They had to postpone the game. It was supposed to be yesterday. They had to move it because it was just too darn cold and still blowing around all that lake effect snow.
And I mean, that's a place that's used to the snow.
Yeah.
That's a place that's used to the cold. And for them to call it, that's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently 10 degrees in Buffalo, so it's pretty balmy there. They're looking for a high of 19 and a low of 15 after they get out of this.
Okay.
With a 100% chance of snow and southwest winds 8 miles an hour. That's Buffalo, New York.
So a snow game could happen because I'm sure they've cleared some of it, but I think it just keeps falling right now.
Yeah.
So they probably will have a snow game sometime later today. I think around 4:30, I think is when the game is.
That sounds right. That sounds right. They're still under a storm warning. And they're still under a winter storm warning until midday.
Okay.
And then they have a winter storm watch later on in the week.
Fun.
Yeah, but we don't.
No. But I am looking forward to checking out that game. It was funny over the weekend. They were like, oh, man. They're talking about all the different temperatures in different places. They're like, oh, the Kansas City game, it's going to be, feels like temperature -20. And like, okay, that's going to be a really cold game. And they're like, yeah, in Detroit, it's going to be this cold. And they're like, guys, do you realize they play in a covered stadium? It's going to be a nice, probably 65, 70 in there.
It's not going to affect them that much.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see the Detroit Lions win their first playoff game since 1991. I think Michigan teams are doing pretty well this year. It is the year. We've got the Michigan Wolverines that won their first national championship since 1997. So this is good. But with the Michigan Wolverines, some of the people have started declaring for the draft.
Oh,
Blake Corum, we knew Blake Corum was going to go because he was a senior, I believe. But J.J. McCarthy,
after 3 years at University of Michigan, Wolverines quarterback J.J. McCarthy has decided to declare for the 2024 NFL Draft. Junior quarterback, announcing his decision on X. He led the Wolverines to, as you mentioned, Johnny, the national championship, locked in a Rose Bowl win, 2 wins against Ohio State, 2 Big Ten championships. His record as a starter for the university, 27-1. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
He says the decision was not easy, and he thanks his family, Coach Harbaugh, and the fans.
Nice.
He didn't thank the Big Ten.
No.
He didn't thank the NC2A investigators.
Yeah.
He didn't thank Connor Stallions. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. I kind of thought he would go based off of everybody else kind of going? Because it kind of seems like the writing's on the wall. Jim Harbaugh's probably going to go.
I was going to say, is this indicative that, because I imagine there's a lot of pressure to declare one way or the other.
Yeah, at a certain point, you have to say yes or no.
Did McCarthy and Harbaugh have a heart-to-heart and say, all right, coach, if you're here, I'm here?
Mm-hmm. That's possible.
Maybe.
They could have had that conversation that was going to happen, or maybe they even just had that talk of maybe this is one of your best chances to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think he's going to be a first-round pick.
No?
But I think he'll be a decent backup somewhere.
That's tough.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got a great record, a winning type record.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if he's going to be great. But Jim Harbaugh did say J.J. McCarthy is the greatest Michigan quarterback. You've got the likes of Tom Brady, who, he was a pretty good Michigan quarterback, but he was a great NFL player.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if being the greatest Michigan quarterback translates to the NFL. But could you imagine, like, he slips down to like the third, maybe fourth round or wherever, and Jim Harbaugh, wherever he ends up going, if he goes to the NFL, says, "Hey, let's pick up J.J. McCarthy. He knows."
How about that?
He knows the playbook.
Boy, that's a recipe for success.
Because that happens a lot of times, especially when coaches are coaching in the college level. They will pick up somebody and say, either, they worked in my system, they know the system, they know the playbook. They'll be a good backup or somebody that can help kind of explain the thing.
The conspiracy is coming together because they probably had that heart-to-heart talk, McCarthy and Harbaugh, and they probably laid out that scenario.
The scheme,
Coach, I want to still play for you. Well, maybe you can.
Yeah, it's possible.
Put your name in and let's go Las Vegas.
Chips fall where they are. We'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, that's kind of been, because I think it's this week that Jim Harbaugh has at least one interview.
Oh, yeah?
With the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh.
He's supposed to be meeting with them sometime this week.
The Chargers are in Los Angeles now?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They moved a couple of years ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they moved. They moved when they built that nice stadium, the SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
So now it's the Rams and the Chargers. They share the stadium.
That's so weird.
Yeah. It's always weird when teams share stadiums like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been doing it for basketball for years. Over in LA, and then Chicago, the United Center gets used for 3 different sports. So we'll see if what ends up happening with that. But some of those people declaring for the draft, and then there was one guy, the guy that they say is going to be the top quarterback, Caleb Williams from USC. He has not officially declared yet, because he does not want to play for the Chicago Bears, who currently have the number 1 pick. He said, I'm going to wait it out and make my declaration. Depending on where the Bears end up picking. If they end up picking number 1 or if they end up moving down.
That's a tough thing.
Yeah.
Because your career map says, okay, I'm gonna play high school, I'm gonna play college, I'm gonna play NFL.
Sure.
Doesn't have anything about I'm going to play for the Bears.
Right.
It says NFL. Don't you have to go kind of where you're asked to go?
Well, in the past, or in most cases, yes.
Okay.
But in the past, there have been people that have said, I'm not going to play for you.
Ooh.
So if you draft me, I will not show up.
Oh, boy. What happens to
John
those players?
Elway did that.
What happens to those? Do they get penalized or something?
Well, no, they end up saying, I don't want to play for you. And then they basically force the hand of the team that drafted them to trade them.
Oh,
that's happened with John Elway.
That's hostile.
John Elway didn't want to play for the Baltimore Colts. So then he ended up going to the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And then Eli Manning.
Oh, okay.
Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers. That's why they're on the teams. Or no. Or is it Drew Brees? No, I think it's Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers. That's why they're on the teams that they were. Because Eli Manning says, I don't want to play for the Chargers. So they're like, trade me. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Caleb Williams, supposed to be the guy, the best quarterback out there. And we don't know if the Bears are going to draft a quarterback or not, or move down in the draft. They've got the number 1 pick right now.
That's funny.
But there's also Marvin Harrison Jr., who's from Ohio State. That's a possibility as well. So yeah, could you imagine that? Like, hey, we want to hire you for the job.
Yeah.
And you say, you know what? Gone through the interview, done all that. You know what? I don't accept it.
Yeah.
Trade me to another business.
Well, or even from this perspective, hey, you're one of the 1% or less than 1% that has played the game so well. We're going to bring you up to the NFL, the National Football League. Nah, I'll play, but not for you.
That guy's, and that's one reason why if I was a team owner or even a fan, I would not want that guy playing for my team. If he said, I don't really want to play for them.
No, you wouldn't want him
because the guy made like a list at one point, said, I want to play for these teams.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, those teams are never going to be at the top of the draft. So you better work some sort of deal to make that happen.
Yeah.
But there you go. So JJ McCarthy, I would take JJ McCarthy over this Caleb Williams guy based on character alone. Because I like JJ. He seems like a nice guy. Got a good head on his shoulders. I would go for him. You know, talent aside, they're both talented quarterbacks, but yeah, he's a much better person than this other guy.
Sports ball.
Sports ball is what we're all about. At least me. We'll catch you up with your Moody on the Market update here in just a few minutes, and we'll try to keep ourselves as warm as possible.
And you too.
Well.
Yeah.
Coming up here in just a little bit. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Score great savings and transform your home with Menard's huge selection of Patriot lighting. Find your style with over 300 stock Patriot lighting interior lights priced under $100. Check out our elegant Joska collection to enhance the style of your home. Get a 2-light flush mount ceiling light stocked in 2 finishes for just $44.99 after $15 rebate. Price is good through.
Man, oh man, is it cold. It is currently, at least according to my calculations, we had Benton Harbor Airport was telling us it was around -5. And as I look at our website, -6. My phone says 5. Or no, my phone says right now my current location is 5. So I don't know. The wind chill, all that, certainly a huge factor, but hopefully everybody is staying warm this morning. All right, checking our comments here real quick. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Stay warm and stay safe. You too, Teresa. Man, it's rough out there. Diane says, good morning, all. Be safe today. Yeah, my car was struggling to get started this morning. Woof. Because it was, I think when I started the car up, it was -8. -8 on the temperature on the car. So that was not fun. So hopefully everybody else is staying warm and hopefully everybody can start their car up and get that going. But all right, we're going to get your Moody on the Market update here in just a moment, so stand by for that.
American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
When you want to know Southwest Michigan's business, look no further. We got you covered at moodyonthemarket.com. You can also check out the Moody on the Move series and our awards program, like 40 Under 40, Best Places to Work, Bold Women of Business. That's all right there on the app and at moodyonthemarket.com. Your update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency, with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
And since it's talking about wages and workers, we thought this was a good business update. If you work in Michigan, the Department of Labor might have some of your money. More than 5,800 Michigan workers are owed more than $2.3 million in back wages that have been recovered by the U.S. Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division. Yeah. According to officials at the Labor Department, a significant portion of that money remains unclaimed because some of the workers due back wages cannot be located.
I'll take that money.
You want that money?
I'll take it.
I mean, it's $2.3 million.
Yeah, over
for almost 6,000 workers. That divides out to be a pretty good number.
Exactly. They say in a lot of cases the employees change jobs or change addresses and can't be notified of the money due for them. Name changes or an employee's failure to retain contact information can also make it difficult for them to find the employees and put back wages recovered into their hands, further complicating reuniting people with their hard-earned dollars. The wage and hour division can only hold unclaimed back wages for 3 years before they are required to turn it over to the Department of Treasury. And we don't want to do that.
No. I mean, if you got money coming to you, this is the way to get it. So we have the story on our moodyonthemarket.com website. And in that story, there is a workers owed wages website link.
Okay.
It's called WOW.
Wow.
Wow, for sure.
Right.
Because hopefully you click on that link and you put in the information that it wants. And this is a government website, so you don't have to worry about it. And the WOW system is currently available both in English and Spanish. And they updated the website last year to make it more user-friendly. It probably looked like any other government site before that, which just basically was frustrating.
Yep.
Anyway, it's there. It's available. If you think you're owed back wages somewhere, check it out.
And this is just my back wages. It's not like a percentage of that $2.3 million.
No, this is just your personal back wages. I mean, but you can put in all your, radio names. Maybe somebody wrote a check to, Fabulous Johnny. And
that's possible.
And you didn't get it.
I was going to say, I have changed my name a few times, but I've not changed jobs in quite some time. So I don't think that's going to work out for me. But if you want to check out that story, go to moodyonthemarket.com. Your update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
We're watching over you.
All right.
It is a winter wonderland out there. We got a couple of people coming in the front door now.
Yep.
And her hand is going to freeze to the door. Nope.
Did not freeze.
We had somebody to let her in. Okay.
All right. We are good to go.
Okay.
People have been. I was just about to go open the door because I know I don't want anybody staying out in the cold for any more than a couple seconds.
Look at out there, though. It's a winter wonderland. It's pretty how the snow is just kind of piled on the branches.
I love that. I love when that happens.
The little snow cyclone or bomb or whatever it was. Yeah. Nice.
This is not the polar vortex.
I haven't seen polar vortex anywhere. No.
I've seen polar vortex. They said sweeping the nation, but I think it was more towards the Midwestern and center area.
Yeah, let me see if forecast discussion addresses that. Persistent cold, blah, blah, blah. Trough, lake effect, snow. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh, how about fronterogenesis?
Yep. Sounds like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not at all. All right. Well, everybody stay warm. Keep your animals warm, all of that stuff. And stay safe.
Oh, how about this? How about this? There is a European model.
Oh, okay.
That says that a potentially more potent Vort Max.
Oh, Vort Max. All right.
Extending
Sounds
from
like a pickup truck.
Extending from the elongated low center over Ontario, swinging through the wake. But that's later on in the week. I don't think that's going to affect us.
All right. All right, everybody. See you later on the live stream. We'll talk to you soon. Hang on, I got to push the buttons here.
Sorry.
Push the